Hey guys, Pastor Kyle here. Hope you're doing well. This is your weekly update. As we're approaching Sunday, we're gonna be moving to Acts chapter 15 in our Missio Dei sermon series. We're skipping over a few chapters. Paul and Barnabas go out on their first missionary trip. Many Gentiles are converted, and as we pick up chapter 15, we have a dilemma because two cultures are colliding, Jewish culture and Gentile culture. And the Jews are saying, hey, it's great that you love Jesus, but if you really want to be a Christian, if you want to be a real Christian, a true Christian, a solid Christian, you have to become Jewish. And so Paul and Barnabas are going to disagree. They're going to butt heads with these Jewish Christians, and it's going to result in the very first church council in which it will be declared that faith is, or rather salvation is by faith alone in Christ alone. And so what I want you to kind of think about is this is a really multifaceted issue, and there's a lot going on here. First off, we have a sort of a question of what does it mean to be a Christian? Second off, we have a question of cultural preferences, and then third, we have a question of unity. And so I want you guys to study the text, to begin to think about it, that God's plan from Genesis to Revelation is a people from every nation, tribe, and tongue. And do we believe that? Do we embrace that? Do we see that running throughout the narrative? So when we begin to share God's heart, we begin to celebrate the diversity that He wants for His church. And then we have to recognize that our natural tendency is to drift towards homogeny. We want to be with people like us, that believe like us, that think like us, that talk like us, that value what we value, that listen to the music and watch the movies that we do. And yet it's kind of it's a little bit like junk food versus healthy food. Junk food tastes good in the moment but has no long-term value, whereas healthy food might not taste good in the moment but actually is better for you long-term. And so what we tend to do is divide into the smallest groups possible with people that are the most like us as possible. And so here's my challenge for you in your groups. There is questions for exploring the text and engaging the text, but I want to jump right to the application questions. And I want to ask you to think about this yourself and then to ask your group, in which ways do we sanctify our preferences? So in a lot of churches, there'll be a traditional, contemporary, emergent music and worship experience. What that is that is sanctified preferences, literally cutting the church into three pieces. How about this? How can we disagree on secondary issues without being disagreeable? A lot of times, when it comes to differences within the church, people will either just be really quiet and try and pretend like it's not there, or they'll get very hostile and very active. So what does it look like for a healthy, robust dialogue and debate without division and divisiveness? How can we disagree without being disagreeable? And then finally, how can we acknowledge and fight the natural drift towards homogeny instead of diversity? What ways do you see yourself avoiding people, not engaging in conversation, and just drifting towards those you know, those you're comfortable with, and so on? Then practical challenge for you guys. For those of you who watch this before Sunday, here's my just completely practical and easy challenge for you. When you come into church this Sunday, engage someone different than you, that you do not know. Just shake their hand, get to know them, ask a few questions, reach out of your comfort zone, and encourage, love, serve, connect with somebody different than you. So that's my practical challenge for you guys. We love you, and we're looking forward to seeing you on Sunday.